Yeah! I like the hair. Like, they're slimy and weird. It's like one of those Cocomelon videos.
Well, of course this would happen. No, of course not.
Did you know there's line cook romance?
She'll die one day.
I hate. Get over it.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Hey, Big Publishing, come here.
I'm gonna
No.
peel your eyelids back and you have to read. Maybe I'm a depraved individual, but like...
Get a grip.
Girl.
I'm feeling the Glenergy.
What the hell's going on in this town?
Every single one of them got a recessive trait, but I can't. That's not how life works.
I don't know if I can ride a bike. That guy was so hot at the popcorn stand. I touched a Sarah J. Maas book, guys.
Hello?
Hi. I have so much... I was talking into the... No one saw that, right?
Saw what?
I was talking into this instead of the mic.
Oh. No, saw what? Like, I don't...
Anyway, I have so much to fucking say today.
I'm so excited to hear it. Do I sound weird? Whoa, sorry.
I don't think so. Oh, my headphones
I'm
are
on
a
like
little low.
fucking 10 today.
Hello? Is that too loud?
Hello? No?
Okay. So, one of the things I have to say today is I never thought I'd be this kind of person because I don't really like noise when I'm reading because it distracts me. Even if it's like the fucking piano.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, because I'm now so focused on the melody of like the song that's playing, I can't read. But I was like in dire need of a fantasy this past week. Like itching and scratching for a fantasy. So just getting right into it really. I picked up Quicksilver, which is I'm sure all of you girlies know, but it's the new like self-published fantasy enemies to lovers fae book that's going around. Holy shit. It's so good. I'm pleasantly surprised because every time I've tried to read fantasy on my Kindle, I fucking hate it because it's bad. Like, I don't believe you're gonna find like good fantasy unless I'm physically holding the book. You know?
Okay.
This is giving me what Lightlark gives me. And Lightlark is
Really?
my favorite fantasy book, if any of you didn't know. It's so good. And usually I'm not like a fairies and fae person because I don't really care for all their rules. But this one's actually interesting. I like this one. This one's like good because they're not like slimy weird creatures like the Cruel Prince is. Like they're slimy and weird.
Yeah.
This one's like almost kind of cute. They have these little like fire like sprites, I think they're called. Like they're like kind of like little fire fairies. They're so I'm picturing them in my brain. And if you've ever seen the movie Elemental, the Pixar movie,
Yeah.
they look like those. I imagine them to look like the little fire beings in that movie. But it's so good. The enemies to lovers is enemies to lovering. Incredible. So, but to say that's why my headphones were so quiet is because I actually put on like fantasy background noise. It was eating, but I put it really low, like the lowest setting, so I can barely hear it because I will get distracted and I'll be like, because there's also on the screen, there's like a fantasy castle or like a library or something, and I'm like staring at it for hours. It's like one of those Cocomelon videos. I'm also wearing my Ewan shirt today. Look at him, he's so cute. I think that's why.
I'm glad to hear that because I was. They better not be stopped in front of my house. I was reading reviews on the Quicksilver thing, and I was worried because it was. I don't know why. I think like they do this on all reviews and all like comments and stuff on social media, but they'll like put either the best or the worst thing at top, like whatever it is. So it's not no one's seeing the same thing, or it is actually curated. And I was seeing a lot of bad reviews for it.
Really?
Like when you told me about it, I went and like looked on Goodreads, and I was like, oh, that makes me worried. But if you're liking it, I trust your opinion.
I think.
Do I sound weird?
I don't think so.
Like
I think you sound normal.
Hmm.
It It might just be like in your...
Maybe I just don't like hearing my own voice this week.
What was I going to say? I really am enjoying it. And I've had the problem with fantasy where, like, I haven't been in the mood for it. Like, the only reason I read Reckless was because obviously it was, you know, the sequel, and, like, I wanted to, you know, it was like an anticipated release, but, like, it wasn't giving me fantasy, like, that I needed.
No.
And then I tried.
It was just Journey.
Yeah, it was Journey.
Because they weren't talking about their powers.
I think that's what it was. Like, Lucy said in last week's episode, like, it was very, like, Star Wars kind of, like, running around, like, doing, like, you know, in the desert. I don't know. It was very, like, okay, this could be, like, you could set this in, like, medieval England. Like, I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
But in this one, she's a human, and she gets, like, sucked into this, like, Fae portal. She gets sucked into the Quicksilver. That's why the book is called that. And so she gets, like, transported into the Fae world. And I really enjoy that she thinks Fae, like, the humans have been told, like, oh, the fairies and Fae or whatever are, like, fairy tale. Like, they're stories that, like, moms tell their kids. And she's like, I thought you guys didn't exist. So we are learning about the Fae as she's learning about it, which I really like because I feel like in Cruel Prince, because Jude grew up in the Fae realm, she got the learning and we didn't get the learning. We were learning, like...
She's like, well, of course this would happen. You're like, no, of course not.
Yeah, I think I really like that we're learning alongside of our main character. Because then I'm like, I don't understand, but she also doesn't understand, and that makes me feel seen. Because I tried picking up, I don't even want to touch it. I went to the audiobook because I was determined to try to like it. And the audiobook is, I'm sorry, I'm going to be a hater this week. Just wait. The audiobook is so bad. She's doing a really bad Southern accent.
Ooh. See, I'm not an audiobook girl.
I'm not
because
either.
If something, I can tune something out. If someone's talking, if the TV's on, it's so bad because I'll be like at work, like trying to watch something and like, because I'm editing it, like a video, and it's it's not longer than a minute. Yeah. And all of a sudden the video is like ending and I'm like, I didn't watch a single second of that. So like I can barely do a podcast while I'm driving. Cause even then I just start like thinking about other things. I'm like, am I listening to something?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just dumb. I'm just dumb.
I'm not an audiobook person either. Like I like to consume with my eyes.
Yeah. And they're going to do shit like a bad accent. Yeah. Or like it's going to be this one character and then they're going to be trying to do like a man voice or a lady's voice and you're like,
I don't like that because it's one woman and she's doing like the guy and the girl and she's just like, well, howdy there, darling. Like it's so bad. I didn't think they were I guess it's a Western, but like I guess maybe I shouldn't have picked it up because like did I enjoy the first one? Yeah. Did I enjoy the first one for the 7-foot-tall blonde demigod? Also, yeah. Like, oh, it just, I don't want to spoil anything because if you want to read it, but it's just like, it's almost getting to the point of cringe. Like, the dragons are like, I'll just tell you this, it's not like Fourth Wing. Like big.
I didn't think it would be.
And I think I just really got so mad because I was like, oh, this is fantasy. No.
Yeah, I mean, it is fantasy. And like we were saying the other day, there needs to be subcategories of fantasy. Like there's subcategories of romance. Yeah. Like you can be like, well, this is an XYZ trope in romance. But I feel like for fantasy, we don't. Maybe we're dumb and we just haven't been told.
I mean, I think there's not as much subgenres as there is in like romance. Because there's romantasy. That's completely different. Because you wouldn't categorize something like Lord of the Rings as romantic. Like, that's just pure fantasy.
Yeah.
But then there's something like ACOTAR where it's fairies and fae fantasy. Like, there's, you know.
I guess they will say that. You can be like, well, this is, you know, fairies and fae versus powerless and reckless, which is super like, I don't know what we could, like, again, I just think there needs to be better categories defined.
I would put those in the category of, like, trials fantasy.
Okay.
Because they're both,
maybe, like, there is categories, and I just, like,
I only
oblivious
recently,
in the
like,
clouds.
I heard someone saying that because they were giving book recommendations, and so I just made it a trope in my brain. But they were saying, if you like, you know, books with trials in it, read like this, this, and this. And I was like, okay, let's just make that like a trope, because then there's people who are like, oh, well, this is, you know, small town trope or small town, like, you know, for like romance.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, did you know there's line cook romance?
Yeah.
What is that about?
I didn't, but when you said that, it makes sense because of The Bear, which I have not watched, but people like it, and I do love Jeremy Allen White. Free that man.
No, honestly, he can stay. He seems very happy with his like 90-year-old girlfriend or whatever the hell.
She'll die one day. She's 80. That's almost 100.
Almost 100. Invisible knife emoji.
If you send an emoji as invisible on iPhone, it will still show up in the shape that it's so but it'll have the little dots over it.
It's so funny.
Best discovery we've had. I'm not going to be reading line cook fantasy.
Neither
you wouldn't catch me.
Well, because I saw a book on Kindle Unlimited. I cannot remember what it's called. I don't remember. I think it's called like On the Line or something. But it had all these cute little sketchy drawings of food. So I thought it was going to be like kind of like the 7-Year Slip, like how the male main character in that book is a chef.
I mean, he is.
Yeah, but I would not consider that a like line cook.
That's different.
Because the plot of this book that I found was like they both work at the restaurant. Like he's a line cook and she is like a hostess or something, or like a waitress, and they have to like keep their relationship a secret because, like, you know, HR or whatever the fuck.
You're not. Well, okay. As someone who worked in a restaurant, it's actually really common that people, especially in like just like in every restaurant, that people like date each other, because restaurant industry is one of those industries where the hours are so strange, because either you're waking up so early to do prep for like lunch or whatever, or you're staying so late to like close and clean and everything, and then everyone's also always on drugs. Not everywhere, but in a lot of like in some places it's like a common trope. So and then it's like the joke that
that's so funny, people
always like dating the line cook or whatever. So like, yes, The Bear, but also like real life.
That's so weird. I really didn't know. But also like
HR like doesn't give a shit. HR.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? HR.
The head chef might chew you out, but it's not their fucking business.
Speaking of complaints, before we get into
I'm picking up my blister.
What we're really here to talk about, which, I mean, we're just here to talk about books, but
always.
I read the most atrocious romance ever. I don't know why I do this to myself. There needs to be a subcategory for me of like I need to learn what it is. Like, I need to learn like a signifier in these kind of romance books where I should know that I won't like it. Because in theory, the plot of this book right here sounds so interesting. This woman dies.
What is that?
She goes to the afterlife and she meets her soulmate in the afterlife. And her like little counselor guidance person is like, I'll give you 10 days to go back to Earth and find him, but he doesn't remember a thing about you. You don't even know his name. Because
I thought you were liking that book.
No. No, I did for about a chapter.
Oh, okay.
The premise is really interesting because it's very much kind of like The Good Place. And I love that show.
Yeah. It was a great show.
But I learned I hate a floundering female character. I hate when a female character doesn't have their shit together and is like a loser, no friends, no hobbies. What do you mean? I just don't, and they're not even smart. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, does that make sense? Like, I can't handle when like a character doesn't have their shit together.
Like when they're just making dumb decisions and you're like, literally no one in their right mind would have done that.
It's not even dumb decisions. It's just her character. Like, she, literally I was talking about this book to my mom and I was like, the one redeeming quality about this bitch is that she's British. So at least she has an accent.
Wild statement.
But she lives alone, which is fine. She doesn't have any hobbies. She works at the pharmacy as an assistant that's across the street from her apartment. Like, literally, she can see it from her window. And she just goes to work from 9 to 5 and then goes home and does nothing. Like, doesn't even have a hobby to fill, like, her time with. She's also never had a boyfriend. She's a virgin, which I'm going to say that really trips me up in a book. Because, like, I don't need to know your past sexual history, but, like, you have, like, it just, to me, it sets you up for a bad character. Because why would I want to be following you? You have no friends. You have no life. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And then it pisses me off when they have a love interest. Because why do you like her? She has nothing going for her. I'm so mad about this book. Like, my review of this book, you know that TikTok audio of, like, I'm sick of her ass. You know that audio?
Yeah.
I'm very animated right now. But that was my review. Like, I just can't. And I know the point of the book was, like, to show her, like, oh, you know, life is so, like, beautiful. Like, you should have friends. Like, there's people out there who care about you. Because while she, like, during her, like, 10 days of being sent back, she starts fake dating her neighbor. And she, like, kind of meets all these random friends who, like, instantly like her for some reason. And one of her main, like, tropes is that she was bullied in high school. Get over it. Sorry, I'm just...
And I just think... No, I agree, because it's like... Yeah, sure, like, people post-grad and, like, in their 20s struggle with, like, who they are and what they want to do with their lives, and that's fine. But most people don't just literally wake up, go to their job, and go home and do absolutely nothing. Like, they have something they care about, someone to hang out with, and I just think that's unrealistic. And again, that's a blank person. Why would I care? I'm not interested.
It'd be one thing if she had a hobby. Okay, maybe she doesn't have a lot of friends, like, where she lives, but at least she, like, you know, crochets, or, like, you know, she does something.
Yeah, like... Literally, like, oh, you love just watching movies. That's fine. Like, whatever. But, like, something.
It's just...
Because then, like, what are you going to talk about when you have friends and you meet someone?
Her only friend is her, like, downstairs neighbor who's, like, 85 years old and he's mute.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
That's her only friend. And her, the neighbor that she starts fake dating, like, calls her out on it. He's like, you think this, like, lone wolf thing is, like, really cool, except it's really lame. Like, get a hobby.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cooper. You're the only redeeming quality about this book. We love you, Cooper.
Amazing.
I just, like, I pick things up like this, expecting to like it, and then I don't. And this isn't the first time that I've picked up, like, a contemporary romance with, like, a silly little plot. And then I end up giving it, like, 1 star. Like, put a marker on it. Like, Rachel, don't fucking read this.
Well, like that one's hard because the idea sounded great to me and it seemed very up your alley in terms of like romance stories, but I don't know. It's also hard, especially because it's like it's one thing to do a Kindle Unlimited book and it'd be like kind of sucky because it was like not free, but sometimes it was like you already paid for it. Like you can just DNF it, no hard feelings. But like you bought that physical copy. Someone printed this. A publisher printed this,
and I bought it.
Like I don't know.
$19. It's a beautiful.
Is that
cover.
a paperback?
But what the fuck?
$19
like,
for a paperback?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know if I want to.
Hey, Big Publishing, come here. What the fuck?
I also think I need to not pick up books that have like it's one of the like Good Morning America like book club. Like I need to stop doing the like book club books because usually they're like I feel like a mother, not my mother, but a mother would like enjoy this. Like she'd think it's so fun and like silly.
That's something my like official book club is gonna be like, we should read this. I'm gonna be like, everyone go fuck yourself.
Do not read this.
But they read Abby Jimenez last month. I missed it.
Yeah, I just I have another complaint. This is on a different kind of spectrum a little bit. So I've been in my like book girly YouTube era. My new obsession is watching people decorate their bookshelves. I love it. And so I watch a few book girlies. I wouldn't say religiously, but like they're like the ones that I will watch that I like. I'm like, oh, I like your personality. And every time I read a book that like one of them recommends, I really like it. Because one of them, she started reading Quicksilver in a vlog. And I was already thinking about it. But then she was like, oh, this is really good. And she read a quote from it. And I'm like, okay, I'll read it. So like majority of the time I've gotten books from like her, like I'm like, okay, I'm going to enjoy this. So I was watching a few like different people. And is this just like a trend in the book talk community to like not like smut? To like want to skip over those scenes?
I don't know, because I feel like I see so like book talk is for it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But the like
I see so many girlies who are like me kicking and giggling my feet. Wow. Giggling and kicking my feet.
Oh my god.
About like this book or they'll be like really upfront and they're like, if you don't like this, don't read it. But if you do, it's great. You know, they'll just like say that. And I think that's fine because people have preferences. That's fine. But
I'm not saying like you have to enjoy it. Like I'm gonna peel your eyelids back and you have to read like.
But picking up a book and then skipping scenes. Really?
What are you doing? To me,
just don't pick up the book.
It's important. It's part of the plot. The author put it in there. Like sometimes, it can get a little like, okay, but then like. They read Chestnut Springs and they're like, yeah, it's so good. Have you read those books?
But do you think there's
the porch scene in Heartless? Are you kidding? Like, you think that's like fine?
So you're skipping half the book.
Yeah. So it's like, it's weird that like their preferences on it because it's like they're totally fine reading Chestnut Springs, but then they pick up like Not in Love by Allie Hazelwood, and they're like, oh, I can't. Granted, the start of their relationship in that book is based on like they're just hooking up. So it's like they don't have like I think these people are so scared of like characters meeting in that way. Meeting in like a friends with benefits kind of way. All these people are in healthy, happy relationships as well, by the way. I'm just like, I'm all over the place. Don't understand why you would skip the sex scenes. Like, it just makes no sense to me. Maybe I'm a depraved individual, but like...
No, but those people are the people who are in relationships and they look at you and they're like, you're like, God, the dating scene is just awful right now. And they're like, you'll find your person when you're not looking. And you're like,
I'm like, you. I'm not looking.
Like, you're married. Shut up.
Like, you got engaged last week. Kill yourself. Like,
you don't get a say on this. Yeah. You have no point of reference for this.
Yeah. And it's just like,
interesting.
It's weird that like almost every book YouTuber person that I come across is like, yeah, it was a little spicy.
I have a question.
Yeah, and it was good.
Do we think a lot of them... do we think a lot of them are religious, but not I wouldn't say like closed, like not openly religious, but for example, Haley, fam, she's very religious.
Yeah.
And I think if you have followed her for a long time, or you can pick up on it for sure. And so is her husband.
Mm-hmm.
But they've never like outwardly said like they won't bring it up. They'll do things, so they'll be like, oh, we went to Bible study, or like we go to church on Sundays or whatever, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But like I do we think that all these book talk influencers are actually super religious girlies, and because like I don't know, they don't work, this is what they do, and then they're like, well, I'm not going to read smut scenes because I'm religious.
I don't think one of them is that I watch, because she really loves like ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, and I think ACOTAR is a little bit more like adult. Mm-hmm. So I don't think she is, but another girl, she might be.
They're just pandering.
Because she was reading Not in Love, like... and she's like, I had to put this down.
Get a grip.
Girl, the point of their relationship is the fact that they can't make an emotional connection, but they like make an emotional connection with each other. Like it's part of the plot.
Maybe they're just like, they're not getting it.
Yeah, and I'm like,
because like they found love so young, or they're in this relationship, so like they just don't get that like everyone else isn't like that.
I don't know. I'm like, I'm watching full frontal nudity on my TV.
And I'm accidentally opening the pictures at work.
Oh my god. Do you know people are being so mean to him about that?
Why?
Because they're body shaming him, and he's like, I ate chicken for months. I love him so much. Don't
guys,
mean to him.
Be nice.
Because you don't look like that. This man has like full 8-pack. Like, what the fuck? Like, you don't just look like that.
I thought we were getting past this. Come on.
No, I don't. Yeah. And so it's like, I want to tell these people about like something like Game of Thrones. Like, go ahead, watch it.
But I feel like those are the same people who've like, I've seen every season of Game of Thrones. It's my favorite show, and it's like incest and nudity.
Yes. I don't know. It's so funny to me. I giggle when like you can't. I don't know. I guess all authors like write those scenes in completely different ways. Like, you have something like Chestnut Springs where it's like, oh, it's on the page. But then you have something like the series Lucy and I have been reading, where it's like a little more implied. Like, we're doing things, but we're not like Wattpad graphic.
I guess.
To me, it's less. And the series we are talking about is The Edens.
I would agree.
By, I can never say, is it Devony Perry?
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh. Yeah.
Happy Summer of Glen Powell. I'm feeling the Glenergy.
I hate that. I hate that term. That term makes me want to like rip out my eyes.
I'm here for it. Glen Powell is the next Matthew McConaughey. I'm obsessed. I want to meet him. I want to be Glen Powell's best friend. I want to meet the damn dog. I just saw Twisters, if you couldn't tell.
I did not, if you couldn't tell.
I'm eating it up. I don't care. I'm joining the white woman train. Yeah, give it to me.
I'll like it in a few months when it's not so popular. That's how I roll.
The movie? Fantastic. Had me on the edge of my seat. Honestly, wasn't even really thinking about Klim Powell. I was thinking about a tornado. I was sad. I was sad. Amazing. And I live in Texas. I live in the part of Texas where we get tornadoes. And Rachel said this to me. She's like, I don't know why people would want to watch that, especially if you've like experienced a tornado or like, but I think it's actually doing really well in the Oklahoma, like Texas area. Because I don't, there's like, yes, it's devastating. And we had one a couple weeks ago here, or like a month or two ago in Texas. Super devastating. It is actually really terrible. But also, we're the same people who like literally stand on our porches and are like, it's fine.
I just like, I don't really understand disaster movies. Yeah, like in the genre that it is, because like here, I live in California, earthquakes or in wildfires are prevalent. Why would I want to watch an earthquake movie? What the hell? Like, that doesn't seem fun to me.
I will say, though, I'm not sure, but storm chasing and tornado chasing are a thing here and have been a thing forever. And obviously, Twisters is based off the original movie Twister. And that was here, and it's super popular as well. People still watch it. And so there is fanfare around things like tornadoes, but I don't think we'd see the same thing for tsunamis or hurricanes because people don't chase. I don't know. It's just like, it's one of those things where like people have just found an obsession with it.
And don't get me wrong, I understand obsessing over something. I bought 2 You and Mitchell shirts. What the fuck? One of them's bright green. I think I just don't. I don't get it. Like also I don't really understand the idea of like storm chasing. Go the other way. Leave. I don't know. Like I know it's like a science.
One thing they talk
like I don't know.
Yeah. They know the conditions that tornadoes can form in and kind of why they happen, but you can't predict if they're going to happen and where they're going to go.
Right.
And so people like to chase them and try and figure these things out.
Okay.
But it can be really disastrous because they can say it's in this area, but you don't know if it's going to come down your street or the street over, and it can make such a difference.
So,
anyways, Klim Powell looks hot in a cowboy hat and a white t-shirt. No, I'm not going out there. If Klim Powell was there, I'd be there. Otherwise, I just imagine them in a completely clear, empty field, pretending there's a tornado around them.
That's so funny to me.
I'm giggling because they had a couple clips of them in these. Most of it was green screen, but I think some of it they did film in Oklahoma, and they had some clips of them like running around, like talking and kind of pre and post shooting in these fields, and I was like, this is so funny and strange.
What are you doing?
Anyways, that got me on the kick to read the Eden series that Rachel has been telling me about for like 3 weeks now, and from Sunday until yesterday, so 5 days, I read all 6 books.
Yeah, they're that good.
I had it. They were incredible. And I had the opposite problem of when you read things too far apart and someone comes back and it's like, who is that?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I started confusing all of the characters.
Yeah.
Someone came in, I was like, I don't know who that is.
It's good though.
But it's good because it's not just a cowboy romance. Like, it is a cowboy
I wouldn't even consider it cowboy. Griffin's the only cowboy.
That is true.
Like, it's more small town,
I guess.
Yeah. But it's a cowboy romance, not the same, you know?
But what do you mean you're tracking down a murderer and then they catch you and then your new boyfriend has to come find you. What do you mean your kid got kidnapped because you had a kid with a mafia boss and then lied about it? What do you mean your ex-wife, who you didn't want to be your ex-wife, blackmailed you the same way her father blackmailed you?
She puts that.
What do you mean someone trying to strangle you on a hike?
She puts like the most crazy, like insane drama in her books. Like the strangling one was absolutely like, what the hell's going on in this town?
That was the book I hated the most, I think.
I didn't like that one, but I think I hated Foster's book with Talia. I did not like that one. I don't really like Foster. Also the fact, like, the whatever he, like, his like friend, his like ex-wife, but they're like friends, was like, I need you to throw the fight so like my boyfriend like doesn't get killed. And he's like, what the hell? Like, that's so
sounds like not my fucking problem.
Yeah. Like, oh, your boyfriend made a deal with the wrong fucking people? Tough shit, you know, like.
And he just pays him off for him. Ugh. You could never catch me being that nice. No. I'm so sorry. I
secretly loved your last book.
I got frustrated.
Oh, sorry, continue.
Oh, I really like that one. I got frustrated because I feel like the first book, incredible. The second book, also incredible. Then we got to Foster Talia, and I feel like from that book to it went Foster Talia, Eloise Jasper, Vance Lila. In all of those books, the first two, they interacted with the family the most and the town. This one was very closed off from the outside world, in my opinion. Yeah. It was very focused on the couples, and I didn't enjoy that as much because I feel like the whole point was they're so ingrained in this family and this town's so important, but they started like doing things like going to Vegas for these UFC fights, or the siblings started hiding these relationships from people. And I don't know. I feel like she also did it because the more people we started introducing, the more confusing it got. So if we had this closed door relationship, it was easier not to bring in all these siblings and say, oh, so-and-so's here and so-and-so's here, and be like, there's so many people.
I think this is so weird. I didn't really like the twins books. Like, I didn't really care for Lila's book or Talia's book. Like, I don't know, but I did really like Jasper and Eloise. Like, I really liked their relationship. Like, the fake marriage, I kind of like ate that up. But it was weird that I didn't like the twins book. Like, the people who are the closest, like, I just didn't care.
I didn't like Lila and Vance's that much. I think it was the shortest one.
I think it was too, yeah.
Talia and Foster I liked, but there was a lot going on there. Jasper and Eloise I liked, but I also didn't like because I feel as if they just hated each other for so long, and then they're like, well, now we just like each other. But I don't feel like either of them are really, like, I don't feel like he was ever a good person for her.
Yeah, I can see that. I get so fooled.
He was giving bare minimum.
I always get so fooled when it's like that's my wife you're talking about situation. Like,
that was good.
But
it was just, it frustrated me because they were both closed off.
Yeah.
And then one day, obviously something traumatic happened, and it was, well, now he never leaves her side, but he's still grumpy and doesn't like anyone.
See, I eat that up. I eat up grumpy and doesn't like anyone. Because of course.
I like the way that Knox was grumpy.
Yeah, he's grumpy too.
I liked them a lot. But, okay. Vera and Mateo.
ate
that
it
book
up.
was epic.
Ate
and I think that book was good because we got to see the family through her eyes. So she's fresh eyes and she's re-explaining who everyone is and blah blah blah. The time jumps were hard.
Yeah, how
I
it
got
went
very
like month by
confused
month in the beginning.
And then after the epilogue, I spent 15 minutes trying to plot in my head how much time had gone by and how old everyone was. Which I think she's Vera, who would be the youngest of all of these couples, because she was younger than Mateo. And I think before the epilogue, she was 23 and Mateo was 25, 26. And if we jumped 15 years from there, she'd be 38. So everyone else would be upwards of almost 50
Yeah,
to
that's
55.
crazy.
Or like 45 to 55.
I wasn't picturing really anyone else, though. So I'm like...
Well, what annoyed me was... I didn't like that 10-year scene because it didn't explain enough. And I know that it was their story, but I feel like their story got wrapped up in the 5-year epilogue, and the 10-year epilogue should have been literally each family, almost like it should have been from like the mom and dad's point of view almost, and be like, all of our families here, and like so and so is this 5 kids and so is this 3 kids, because I want to know.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to count how many kids I thought everyone had, and then I couldn't remember what anyone looked like, except, but I will say their plot was really good, and I did like their chemistry.
Ate up their plot. Like, that might be the best one of the series, low-key.
It was worth it. What annoyed me was that they always described the Edens as having dark hair. But then in the first book, they described Wynn as having really dark hair. And I think the Edens just had chocolate brown hair, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't like the way they, like, either it was just chocolatey brown or it was super dark. But everyone had the same hair. And that was okay. But on a bigger point, they all had blue eyes. You're telling me you had 6 kids and every single one of them got a recessive trait?
Lucky girl syndrome.
Every single one of them got blue eyes. It's literally not possible.
Lucky girl syndrome.
I hate to break it to everyone. And then on top of that, in every book, they described everyone as having the same exact eyes, but then without fail, the person falling in love with the Eden kid would say that this shade of blue is their favorite color, or their eyes would be this specific shade of blue when they were upset. And they would say something like, she has eyes like this, and it's not like her siblings. Like the twin, I think it was in one of the twins books where it's like Talia has blue eyes and they're not even like Lila's color. And I'm like, but you're describing them as all having the same eyes but not having the same eyes?
I think it's to give the point of like, you are in, like, me as the person like falling in love with whoever is like, yeah, you have a huge family, you all look the same, but like there's something special that I love about you. Like, your eyes are different. Like, I could look into your sister's eyes, but I'm not looking into your eyes because like your eyes are special to me.
No,
you know,
I know, but it's just like this weird plot point I couldn't get past. I'm over it. I did like it, but now I don't know what to do with myself because I abandoned every other book I was reading to read this. I have not been on social media for 6 days.
I haven't heard from Lucy. I haven't heard from anyone. I've felt like I'm actually sitting talking, like, has nothing to do with you. I know you're busy. I just feel like I'm in my enclosure, like, yeah, it's been a great day. Like
my mom was like, what's Rachel up to? And I was like, I think she's sitting in her room.
Probably.
So, yeah, I went to work, came home, and read. That's all I did this week.
Yeah.
I was nowhere to be found. But I'll be back. I'm back now. How many more cowboy romances am I going to read? I want to say none, but I just know it's not true.
They're just so good.
They're so good. But I need to stop, like, abandoning life for 6 days at a time.
I see no problem. Just let me know what you're reading.
And where's the problem?
And that's it.
I need to go update my Goodreads because
you've read like 6 books.
Exactly. Well, I've read 6 cowboy books. I've read 4 books before that. Yeah. I don't know what's happening, and I need to go back so I can remember what dates I finished them on. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know. I'm trying to read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying a Vampire, and I only got like 50 or 80 pages in, and it just started getting good. And I abandoned it. It's okay.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Soon.
I had plans I couldn't tell anyone about.
Yes.
But
exactly.
I don't know. I want to quit my job and do this and own bookstore.
Yeah.
But I can't. That's not how life works. I'm sad. I've been rocking my corner. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I just want to live in a small town with a beach.
Yeah. It's getting hard to be like... I was thinking about that the other day. And I was like, I don't know if we're just crazy, but like, we like developed like a routine. We would go to beach, we would sit out for a little bit, and then at the end we'd go flop around in the ocean, and then we'd walk back, we'd wash off in the little showers, and then we'd go into the pool and swim for a little bit, and then we would leave, and then we would get in the Joop, and then we'd go to Bojangle. We had a routine, bitch, like...
And what more do we need?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's literally the life that I need to live.
The occasional mezcalita marg.
Occasional.
The occasional tiki boat outing. Except I'm going to buy my own tiki boat so we don't have to talk to anyone while we're on the tiki boat. It was bad because there was no one else there.
Yeah, it was literally...
It's like...
It was 3 of us, and then this, like, 70-year-old, like, man.
Captain.
And we're like, woo! Party!
I'm gonna develop a routine of stocking the Duke Marine Facility, research facility.
That's crazy.
I gotta go back for that man.
We saw a glimpse of him! Glimpse.
And I haven't stopped thinking about him since.
That's crazy.
If you work at the Duke Marine Biology Lab Research Center in Beaufort, North Carolina, hit me up.
That's crazy.
Oh my god. I simply want to beach. That's okay though.
I just want to beach. I was thinking about whenever y'all come here, I mean, obviously depending on what season you guys come here, but like, if you got, like, let's say you guys came like late spring, summer, I don't think I would take you guys to the beach. Because would it be the same as Maddie's, like, at all?
No, California beach isn't sit and relax beach.
Some places are. Like,
it's activity beach.
I wouldn't take you to, like, maybe I wouldn't take you to sit out at like fucking Zuma Beach in Malibu. Like, I would not take you there because it's disgusting. But like, if we wanted to go to beach, we could drive down to like the pretty beaches, like further south, and like sit. But the thing is like, we have to bring our own shit. I would have to find a lawn chair somewhere. We don't really have those.
Yeah. We could bike along beach.
I don't know if I can ride a bike.
What?
I rode a bike once when I was 13 years old. Haven't since. So I don't know if I could do it.
Incredible information to know.
I think there's a lot more activities that we could do here, though.
Yeah. Like Disneyland. I keep getting Disney content, and I cannot be seeing that.
I'm sick. I have to go back.
I'm sick. I need another 5 days in Disney, but I need it to be free.
I need to be free and I need to not be ill. I need my feet to not hurt.
I need to be planned completely differently.
Yes.
Because we're stupid and we didn't understand how tired we'd end up being.
Well, we couldn't really do anything about that. Because we were kind of on like a time crunch.
It's just so large. I feel like if we went back, we'd be okay with missing things. You know what I mean?
For sure. I would spend more time
I don't know if I need
not being ill in Epcot.
I would spend more time
reservation for 9 p.m.
I actually wouldn't have a single alcoholic beverage the whole time I was there. I've learned that it just doesn't agree with me.
Yeah.
Alcohol in general.
I would drink, but like I think I would like I don't know what I would do because it sometimes my stomach will be really upset and then other times I'm completely fine.
Yeah. I think I would wait until 6 p.m. to have one drink and then see how that goes.
Yeah.
And not start at 11 a.m. It's okay. It's fine.
I really want to enjoy that creme brulee croissant thing again from France. That like bun thing that was like caramelized. The beignet. It was a beignet.
Oh my
with the
God.
filling.
I forgot about that.
I also would like to.
I want to start in Canada next time because I don't remember the second half of that trip.
That guy was so hot at the popcorn stand. Do you remember him? Canadian Brad. Oh my God.
I lost consciousness between France and what does it go? It goes France,
UK,
Britain, Canada?
I gotta look at the fucking photos of like us in each country. We also went we didn't go to Canada during we didn't go to those places during the day because we were like past because we were waiting for Guardians because the timing thing.
I know.
I would do that differently.
Because just between we were at Paris and then we kept walking and I had no idea where I was for a solid 45 minutes. Yeah. And then we were in Canada and I was in line at the popcorn stand just staring at that man trying not to throw up.
Yes.
I was like, if I just look at him hard enough, I won't vomit.
Okay, yeah, we were in France.
And I didn't.
Oh my God. Do you remember when we were sitting on that fountain in Italy? I didn't get a drink though there because I was still finishing my Jaeger and Coke.
Oh, I would get one of those. The fountain in Italy.
We need to spend more time with these bad boys. The ones from America with the benches in the shade.
That was the point of the day where we should have all chugged 3 waters.
Yeah.
And I think someone had moonshine.
I did. The raspberry moonshine, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And then I continued on. And then I got this large beverage. It's bright green.
And at one point we were in Morocco.
Oh my God, that's when I almost threw up. That is the point.
We couldn't find a bathroom.
And then we finally found a bathroom. And then, oh my God, the funniest thing, I have to go into the album. So after I go into the bathroom to I don't think I did throw up, but I think I just needed a little breather, away from everyone. And then Lucy was like, let's take a group photo. And I'm like, in the I gotta find it. Oh my God.
Oh, and we had those 6-year-old dads who were staring out at the water take the photo.
Yeah, we were like, can you take a photo of us? We want a group photo. And he's like, oh, okay. I gotta find it. It's this.
I think I posted that photo. I think if you swipe through my photos of that trip,
sick.
If you swipe through the photos and you really zoom in on all of our faces, you can tell each country that we keep getting just slowly.
It was so fun though. I would do that again. I would just I
would spend 2 days at Epcot. I'd spend 1 day doing that, and that's all we would show up at 11 a.m. and we would just meander so slowly, and we wouldn't stop stop in China and Japan. We just keep walking.
I'm not stopping there. I think that drink fucked me up. The like whatever the one that was like, we were like, can we get no boba in that? It was like a tea thing.
I don't even think that was alcoholic.
Yes, it was.
We started with that. Oh.
It was.
Yeah, I would keep walking. I'd walk past Morocco. I'd pick back up in Italy and in Germany and France.
That is so funny.
I'd take a heavy breather in France, and then we'd finish the last 3.
I would take a heavy breather in America because they got a lot of seating.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, we're taking heavy breather in America at lunch, and then we're taking a heavy dinner time breather in France, and then we're finishing out. And then also, we would try and pick a day that they're not having an event and kicking us out.
Yeah, that was not fun.
That was lame of them.
Remember when I ordered this at the restaurant? I ordered this at 9:06 p.m.
Remember when we both ordered full meals and then didn't eat them?
Because I was gonna throw up. I went to the bathroom, almost threw up. And
me too.
It's guys. I'm sounding like an alcoholic. It's not from alcohol. I have a condition.
I was just drunk. I'll be honest.
Yeah, and that's totally fine to admit. Oh, we did get that beer though. But why did we get the beer?
Because we said we like had to stop, and so I was like, "I'll get." It was bad. I wouldn't do that either.
Well, now we know what we like. It was. Oh no,
true.
That was actually good. Never mind.
I've also learned that I can't drink then eat because my stomach gets too upset. So I need to eat then drink. Because when we were at the Mexican restaurant in North Carolina, we drank and I couldn't eat.
I agree because you guys don't know this because you don't. I don't know you guys, but hi.
I've never met you before.
So every Friday, my family and I go out to get Mexican food. If you can't tell, we love Mexican food. And they, at the Mexican restaurant that we go to, they have like fun margaritas. So like different flavors. Like my favorite is a hibiscus margarita. There's just like a tropical margarita. There's like an orange margarita. There's a like spicy margarita. You know, like there's different flavors, and it's fun. And we've gotten to know the bartender, so he'll make like fun concoctions, like different things that are like off menu. So I'm sitting there drinking a margarita goblet, and I can't eat afterwards. Like that's my meal. Is a little chip and salsa, and then margarita, because it just fills up my stomach so much. So I see what you're saying.
I think if you drink before you eat, it just kind of upsets your stomach, and then you don't feel hungry.
Yeah.
But if you eat a little bit of something before and then you drink, because you should always eat before you drink, but I'm just going to go have chips and queso. I'm going to have a big lunch, and then I'm going to go have chips and queso and a marg the size of my head.
That's what I think. Yes. And I think for Epcot, we need to do that as well. Like, we need to get food, it can be like in...
We should have gone to that restaurant at lunch. Like, I hate to say it.
We should have had more small snacks throughout the day. Like, I feel like we were just ordering drinks. We weren't ordering...
No, we were ordering snacks.
Oh my god, that German thing? What the hell was that? That, like, pastry. Oh!
But they're not going to have that when we go back, because that was for the food festival.
I know.
Or the flower festival, whatever was happening. Which helped with the drinking around the world, because there's a lot of choices. But... I don't know.
Next time we wouldn't go to the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
We would go to the England restaurant. It's my other favorite.
I think I would just only opt to eat like one small thing every couple of hours.
Yeah, like
instead of like a bunch of big meals.
I feel like
I have like a big breakfast.
Yeah,
and walk it off.
I feel like I stopped getting food because I was like, I'm not hungry because my stomach's upset.
Yeah, I think after France we were like done, and then because we're gonna go eat dinner, but we had also been snacking all day and drinking all day, and then we sat down and we're like, let's eat a giant Mexican meal. Delicious. And to be fair, none of us were like, this is a bad idea. We're like, this is the perfect idea. I see no problems.
I also think it's hard to like get, like the only reservation we could get was 9 p.m.
Yeah. Well,
remember when they were trying to usher us out of the park?
And then they told us we couldn't walk the shortest way to the tram. We had to walk the long way.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm about to throw up and pass out.
The worst. Honestly, getting back to the Disney transportation was not bad. But don't even speak to me about the universal bus system. You have to walk 8 miles to get to the bus from the park.
It's not just like out front. They corral you. They make you go up and then through security, and then they make you go all the way through. It's like such a long walk, and then you get ticketed.
And then you also have to walk 80 miles to the back of the park because we all know you're going to Hogwarts. Like, and then you have to walk through Seuss Land.
Thankfully, in the mornings, they don't have the music playing.
Yeah. That's the only saving grace.
Yeah. I would do that in one day, but I would only go to Hogwarts.
Me too.
There's nothing else I need to do unless the Velociraptor line is 30 minutes or less.
I'd do that and then Harry Potter again. I would spend more time. Actually, no, I don't. I would go.
We didn't spend a lot of time in Diagon Alley.
I would spend more time there, and then when it's not thundering out and like pouring rain.
That sucked, and we couldn't control it. We had a rainy Florida afternoon, and it was not fun.
It's not fun.
But you really could do that in one day, just the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
Because we spent so much other time in other parts of the park because we've never been.
Yeah.
I regret spending like 4 hours in Seuss Land. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
We were on. Remember
so
when we got the Who Hash, and then we waited in line for the Cat in the Hat ride?
Don't go on that ride.
Don't go to that land. Just don't go there.
Maybe pass through once to see the Lorax, but other than that, you don't have to go.
Yeah, it was... That Who Hash was good, though.
There was one point, because that was the first morning, we were like, let's go to Seuss Land. And we had to keep passing through it to get around the park. And every time we were like, no.
Because they play this,
because we're playing music
loud,
the whole time.
Like... silly, goofy, like, I can't even describe the music, but like it's what they play like on like kids TV.
Yeah, it's in Seuss movies, I'm pretty sure. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Well, not a lot going on this week in terms of books.
You gotta read Quicksilver.
I'm gonna do that, and then I think there's so much to do. I need to stop overwhelming myself because I have to finish some of those books from the library, and I want to read the next, not the Undermining, the Undermining of Lila and whatever. But I'll get around to that. I'm not worried about it. But Quicksilver, who knows? Who knows if I'm gonna come back and be like, just kidding, I read another 6-book cowboy romance series.
That's what I'm saying.
Oops.
Oh my god, guys. I never thought you'd hear me. You'd probably never think to hear me say. You know what I'm trying to say. When I was in my deep, like, I need a fantasy book itch time, I went to Barnes & Noble. And I was going to. I told myself, I walked in, I said, I'm not going to buy anything. Because there's so much coming out that I was like, I like to buy things I like to buy my books like 6 at a time. Like a month's worth, like, of reading, essentially.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to buy anything. I'm just going to, like, look. I touched a Sarah J. Maas book, guys. I thought about it. I really thought about it. Because I was like, it's like a 6-book series of, like, fantasy that I can just, like, eat through, you know? But I'm still worried. I don't know. But I think if I was going to pick one of her, like, series, I think I would pick Throne of Glass over Akatar. But let me know in the comments. Just because I don't really like the, like, winged, like, I don't like the boys with the wings. Like, there's something weird about that. It's like Carden having a tail. I choose to ignore.
I forget about it until I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like... What
about Carval? That's on the shelf.
It is. It's up there. But I was gonna wait for you. That's not really like. I think I'm going back on my. I've been thinking about. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know if I could do YA. I think that might be a little too YA because as I've been reading more fantasy, I come to the terms with. I love Once Upon a Broken Heart. I love Jax so much. But if that book was adult, oh yeah. But I think like it's just I don't know. I don't know. Like yeah, I want to read it, but I don't know because I'm afraid it's gonna be too YA for me. Like I'm gonna be like, come on, kiss, duel. Give me a little something.
And they're boys.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Maybe it'll be one of those things where when you're really busy and you just want something super mindless.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I have them sitting. Well, I bought them when they were on sale on Amazon. A little box set. So they're here.
To be fair, I think we only paid like $18 for 3 books.
So I mean, yeah, come on. And it's like, it's nice to have them. Like, I know they're there, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know.
I'm really trying to get through the books I haven't read on my shelf before the end of the year, along with like new releases, because I'm obviously going to go get Assistant to the Villain or Apprentice to the Villain, and then the next Lila Sage book. I don't know what else is coming out. Something else I wanted to read. Oh wow.
Oh well, that's not till November. See. The Sky Shade one. Lightlock.
Oh.
So
really?
Yeah.
That's so soon.
I know. She cranks them out. Apparently they're making a movie.
See everyone.
A Lightlark movie.
I want it, but if it's done bad, I don't want it.
I know, because I'm like, I love it so much that I'm like, they're going to ruin it.
We should fan cast that book.
I'll work on it right now. Can I be Isla? And you and Mitchell has to be Grimm.
I'm gonna have to like go back and like think about all the characters in that book.
There's too many. I would say if we were gonna cast it, we would cast like Grimm, Oro, Isla.
The rulers.
We have to cast all of them? Okay, we can do that.
There's only like 6 people.
I'm like lazy. I'm like, let's just cast the hot ones. What's wrong with
Okay,
me?
well, until next time.